Hey, it's Alicia and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to chat a little bit about my KB Homes experience. Actually not KB Homes, but the mortgage company. I wanted to just go over a little bit on how our experience has been so far. So if you didn't know, we're moving. That's why we're buying a house and plan on living in it. But you are welcome to follow us on this journey by subscribing. And if you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Comments, anything you have questions about, let me know. I have gotten a few comments from our past few KB and moving vlogs, so I figured this might be a good time to do a little update. This is only going to be part one of our KBHS experience. I don't know why that's a tongue twister sometimes, but yeah, so this is going to be part one because we have yet to close. Our house is still being built, so hopefully this experience gets a little bit better. So we actually decided to purchase our house back in October. Right now we're in March, but in October we decided to move forward with KB Homes. We found a KB home that we love and it's perfect for our needs. This will be our second home. We do have another home in Florida, so this will be a great house for the three of us to live in and be closer to our family. So long story short, we have a mortgage guy. We actually have somebody that we know, a friend of our family, a friend who has done mortgages for friends and family in the past, so it was pretty much going to be a shoo-in. If we bought a pre-owned home or a new home, this is the person that we wanted to go with. Fast forward now, we found the KB home, and of course they have a special. If you choose to go with their preferred vendor, then we get $6,000 off. So of course that's enticing, right? But they kept saying preferred vendor. They kept trying to make it known that these are different companies, and it's not our salesperson as much as it's the finance people, the mortgage company themselves. Like, it was a very runaround kind of answer when I'm like, well, why does it matter? Like, are you getting a kickback for this? Like, because my mortgage guy was willing to work with them and work with us, and I mean, we still wanted to get the $6,000 off. And what was weird, it's not the mortgage company that was going to give us $6,000 off closing. It was KB Homes that was giving us a $6,000 off closing. So it was just really weird, and I felt like it was I don't want to say a conflict of interest because clearly it's not now, but it was really ambiguous how they were saying, oh, you need to go with our preferred vendor and yada, yada, yada. So long story short, I called the corporate office only to find out that they are the same. When I talked, I mean, obviously, right, KBHS and KB Homes, it's the same. And I asked, I was like, it's the same company. And the loan officer that we were working with, he actually said, oh yeah, that's just what we call ourselves. That's just our name. So it was like they didn't want to claim each other, and it was just really giving me bad feelings about the whole situation. A helicopter, of course. But in addition to all the other fees, if we can save $6,000, why not, right? We called corporate office and we found out that they are sister companies. And now that we understood, you know, why it was a deal, you know, because they're sister companies or whatever, like there's a percentage that they own it, and they don't even give that information. Like, there is a disclosure about that, but there's not like very much clarity around, hey, like it would be different if they were like, oh, this is our sister company. If you go with them, you'll get $6,000 off or money toward closing or whatever. But they didn't present it that way, and it was just super shady in my opinion. But this is our first new home, so we had a few more questions. There's definitely a lot of the numbers are kind of up in the air, and you have an approved amount, and so we have more questions. But the loan officer that we were assigned was just super condescending, and when we'd ask him questions, and I would be like, okay, well, you know, what can you do for me that another loan officer or mortgage company can't do? And this was a specific question that I had because our friend was able to match the deal, which in hindsight, I feel like that was the time we should have just went with our friend. But anyhow, so I was trying to give this company the benefit of the doubt, and I'm like, okay, what can you do? Knowing that you guys are sister companies, I've never bought a new home before, you know, what are the benefits of going with you. And this person, I'm not even going to say his name because it's irrelevant, but he goes, oh, what do you want me to do? Take you to dinner? And I could have like cussed him out. My husband's definitely more calmer than I am, but when he said that, like I could have lost it on him. I was just like, I'm asking you questions because I don't know. I want you to say, oh, we're gonna keep updated on this. We're gonna know this. We'll let you know when this happens. Like, these are the things I want him to say because, I'm thinking, the builder and you guys have a relationship. I'm assuming that you're talking to each other and you can guide me. But he's not giving me like these little breadcrumbs, right? He's not telling me these connections. So I really don't know his benefit other than the $6,000. I'm asking him all this information and then I'm like, okay, I talked to my husband and we're like, okay, even though, we don't really want to go with him, let's just go through the process, see what their numbers are, and we'll go from there. So the company I work for is actually a cybersecurity company, and keeping people's personal information and making sure you're not getting, your information lost in cyberspace or stolen, like that's what I do and that's what my company does. And it's just so crazy that a company like KBHS, they have a portal that they don't use. So this loan officer, again, just being shady like he has the entire process that we were talking to him for a few weeks at that point, he wants me to send all my pay stubs, my license, my information, everything just via email. Like just through email when they have a portal. And he says, oh, well, the portal's not as easy for him to use or get that information. That sounds like a problem that he needs to talk to his higher ups for and has to discuss with them, because I'm thinking, well, why do you have a portal if you don't use it and for your benefit? So I uploaded all the information there. He figured out how to get it and all of that. So I think as we were moving forward, we are still talking to him and I'm like biting my tongue because he's just so rude. Like every conversation has to do with him. And I'm asking questions and he's like, I see this all the time. I told him, I was like, honestly, you're not super responsive. I just feel like a number, going through another loan officer instead of you guys, like maybe you have too much business that, you're not and on track with whatever's going on. And so then he's like, again, brings it right around to him and he lets me know this is why I'm working at a builder, because people are coming to me. So, he is busy. And it's like, again, I don't give a crap, sir, about you. I know that sounds really rude, but like, this is about our house and this is about, what's best for us. And I just felt like he was so deaf to like, I think he's so accustomed to just people doing whatever he says and not asking questions and just kind of following, and I would have followed, but I just don't follow blindly. And I want to know why you're asking for certain information and why you're doing what you're doing. I think that's fair. I think this is a big purchase. I don't know how many people buy houses just on a regular Monday or Tuesday morning, but for us, this was a pretty big deal and we're excited, but we still want to make sure we're doing the right thing. So anyways, that didn't go over so well. I called KB Homes, our salesperson, who was amazing, by the way, loved him. But I called him and I let him know, this is not working out for me. Is there anyone else? Because we're about to pull out. And so anyways, he put me in touch with the manager. The manager called me at like 7 o'clock one night and he apologized for the loan officer and how he treated me. And he was just telling me all these things, hon. He's going to be the person that we're going to deal with from now on. And all of that information. So he was making sure, he was kind of like, patting my back, making me feel good, which he did. And he let me know, okay, you know what we're going to do for you. I'm going to give you, he started doing some percentages and he said a total of something in points toward closing where you'll get an extra $2,400 off. And I was like, okay, so now it would be that $6,000 plus that $2,400. So I was like, okay, can you put that in writing? And he said he promised he would be the only person I spoke with through this process. And he said that he could not do it in writing because he needed to do it on the back end. So I was like, okay, as long as, you're being honest with me, you're the manager, you're taking over, I no longer have to deal with this rude man anymore, so I felt good about that. I felt better, not good. But yeah, he said, I'll do weekly check-ins with you. I guess I don't need my hand held as much like every week as I just want to make sure we have like touch points, but anyhow, he just gave me the promise and he said, go ahead and sign your paperwork. It's going to be reloaded on the portal. Talk to the underwriter. We'll reload it on the portal and DocuSign and yada, yada, yada. We went ahead and committed to KBHS after that conversation. And 1 week goes by, 2 weeks go by, 4 weeks go by, no contact. No contact with loan officer or loan officer's manager. So I don't know what's going on, and I get an email from my bank and they let me know that my credit was pulled. Well, that's weird because my credit should not have been pulled. It was pulled initially when you get approved, and then it's supposed to get pulled 60 days before closing. There is a long way to go. We literally only have foundation and I think framing now. But yeah, so I get an email that my credit was pulled. So it wasn't even KBHS, but it was Credco. And I'm like, what is Credco? So I call my bank and I find out who's Credco. Well, it was pulled by KBHS and they used Credco to pull your credit. So now I call the people that I know should be helping me. So I call the manager, I email the manager. A week goes by, no manager. I call my sales guy and he is like, okay, let me find somebody to help you. Didn't tell me, maybe he didn't know, but I get a call the following Friday, which was 2 Fridays ago, from a new person. He's going to be my new loan officer because the original guy is no longer there and Mr. Manager is no longer there. So now both of the people who I worked with are no longer there. And that's weird because 2 weeks ago now, my credit was pulled. So I really don't know what's going on. So anyways, this new person, he's the new loan officer. He said he's been with the company for so long and he's going to be taking over my account, my folder from now on. Okay, that was 2 Fridays ago. And I asked him about Credco and I asked him why my credit was pulled. Oh, I'll get on that. I'll find out. I also asked him about the $2,400 and, that credit, if he has any of that notes. Oh, I'll find out and I'll call you right back, It might take me a little bit. It might take me a week or so to call you back, but I'll call you back. I was like, okay, great. It's now been 2 weeks. It was 2 Fridays ago and I have not heard. I am going to reach out to him and I'm going to find out, what's going on. And it's really just so the left hand knows what the right hand, or the left hand knows what the right hand is doing. It's not like I'm upset that they pulled it. But again, this is just my first time buying a new house. I have questions and you should be able to tell me why my credit was pulled because this is a pull. That can affect my credit and it can affect my score. And I try to do a good job at making sure things are good. So I want to make sure I know what that's for and why. So anyways, that's where I'm at now. Right now, my feelings. I feel like for the $6,000, the journey so far has not been worth it, especially knowing that they promised that I would know different aspects of what's going on because of the relationship between the two companies, even though they're the same company, but they keep saying relationship between the two. I have not benefited from that relationship at all. I feel like the same things that I'm getting, which is really just my credit pulled, is the same thing or less than what I would have gotten from my friend. At this point, I wish I did not move forward and commit myself to KBHS. I am hoping for a turnaround. I know only 2 weeks ago, the new loan officer reached out. So I'm hoping that he understands, I feel like a serious person when I'm talking to them, but when it comes to finances, it comes to your money. Like if your credit is messed up, like you're messed up. So this is just one of those things that I just want to make sure we're crossing our T's and dotting our I's. So I am going to update you when we close. Hopefully, there's nothing crazy that goes on between now and then. can, and hopefully they can let me know a little bit about, what's going on and all of that. I just wanted to share a little bit of my experience so far. I know this is kind of a negative story so far, but I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping for a turnaround. I'm so excited that my house is getting built, and so far the framing is up, the roof is on. So we have lots going on, and it's just the financial part is what's really the stickler right now. All right, so my camera just died, but I was just saying, if you guys had any experiences with KBHS from looking at other reviews and reading things online, it seems like this is kind of their MO, and I'm a little nervous about the whole situation. And again, it's just because that's the information and that's just what I've experienced so far. So hopefully it does turn around. I will definitely keep on sharing things that are going on, other milestones with the house. So definitely stick around by subscribing to follow us on this journey. I have some moving content coming up. And here on this channel, we don't just do moving things. I have mommy things, life things, wife things, all kinds of stuff here. So stick around by subscribing. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up if you like this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to leave your comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.